To understand the Vatican, there are two people and two things you need to know about. The famous Pope, the incredibly confusing Holy See, the country of Vatican City, and along with that, the almost completely unknown King of Vatican City. But first, the Pope, who gets a throne to sit upon and from which he acts as the bishop for all the Catholics in Rome. Actually, all bishops in the Catholic Church get their own thrones, but because the Bishop of Rome is also the Pope, his throne is special and has its own special name, the Holy See. Every time a pope dies or retires, there is a sort of Game of Thrones to see which of the bishops will next get to occupy the Holy See. So while popes come and go, the throne is eternal, and as such, the name the Holy See not only refers to the throne, but also all the rules that make the Catholic Church the Catholic Church. When Mussolini crafted that aforementioned deal, technically he gave the land of Vatican City to the Holy See, which, believe it or not, is a legal corporate person in international law. Basically, every time you hear the words the Holy See, think Catholic Church Incorporated, of which the Pope is the CEO. Now, back to the King. The King of Vatican City has absolute unchecked power within the country's borders, and his presence makes Vatican City one of only 6 remaining absolute monarchies in the world. The King of Vatican City can overrule their decisions at any time for any reason. So why do you never hear about the King of Vatican City? Because though King and Pope are 2 different roles, they just happen to be occupied by the same person at the same time, which has the funny consequence that because the Pope is elected and the King is all-powerful, but they're the same guy, it makes Vatican City the world's only elected, non-hereditary absolute monarchy. It's this dual role that makes untangling Vatican City so difficult because the Pope, depending on the situation, acts either as the king of the country of Vatican City or the Pope of the Holy See. And speaking of Vatican City citizens, they are perhaps the strangest consequence of the Pope's dual role as religious leader and monarch. While other countries mint new citizens with the ever-popular process of human reproduction, Vatican City does not. No one in Vatican City is born a citizen, and that's not just because within a rounding error there are no female Vaticans. The only way to become a citizen is for the King of Vatican City to appoint you as one, and the King only appoints you a citizen if you work for the Pope, who is also the King. And because the King is all-powerful, your citizenship is at his whim. If you quit your job for the Pope, the King, who is also the Pope, will revoke your citizenship. These rules mean that Vatican City doesn't have a real permanent population to speak of. There are about 500 full citizens, which is fewer people than live in single skyscrapers in many countries. And all these citizens work for the Holy See as either cardinals or diplomats or the Pope's bodyguards or other Catholic-related jobs. The reason the world cares about Vatican City is not because of the citizens within its walls, but because of the billion members of its church outside of those walls.